Welcome back to the channel. Today we start Operation Save the Dually. Now, if you guys and gals remember, Lauren and I were coming home from the C10 Fall Revival, and not too far into our trip, we started to have a very severe rod knock.
Dude, any second this thing is gonna explode.
Not actually explode, right?
Not at like back at us, but on the side, yeah.
And while that material was working its way, got a pretty severe rod knock, and by the time we got to Piedmont Traction, which just so happened to be 13 miles away from where we started to break down, the motor was basically about to seize while we were pulling in the driveway. So I come up with a game plan on how we're gonna get this truck home. Are we gonna tow it? Absolutely not. Are we gonna get somebody to tow it home for me? No way. We're gonna do a motor swap at Piedmont Traction, and that motor is actually in the back of the old van. Yeah, that's a big block. Yesterday, I hopped in the van with my dad and my boys, and we drove all the way across the state to Tampa to meet a fella named Justin who had this '89 big block for sale. We had to get a little creative with how to get it in the back of the van, but it fit, and we got her strapped down to where the third row goes. But now that I'm back at the shop, I want to get the motor out of the back of the van, open it up, and start taking a look at the condition of the guts of this thing. There we go. Oh, now this is an interesting motor because this was kind of a transitional time frame for GM. Now this is the 4th generation or Mark IV big block with 5th generation technology. You see here we have throttle body injection on this older style big block, and this was from the factory. GM continued the production of square bodies in the 3/4 ton to 1 ton trucks from 1988 to 1991, when the half-ton trucks were transitioned into the OBS or old body style, like Cookie Monster. So you could get a 1991 square body with a 4th generation big block with 5th generation fuel injection. Now, some other things I noticed about this motor is we still have the fancy, EGR setup, which gonna be not really utilizing any of that, but they've also started to upgrade into the serpentine belts, which is really significantly more reliable than the old style V-belts, which we still have over here. So it's just interesting to see the transition from carbureted to throttle body, from V-belts to serpentine, and everything just hasn't really transferred over yet, but you can kind of see the transition that GM was making. It's pretty cool. Nice catch, fan. Hey, my little buddy in the shop. Is he alive? I don't know. Yep, he's alive. Let's put this motor on a engine stand. I'm tired of working on the floor. Okay, let's let her down. It looks better. Let's pop these valve covers off, see what we're working with. The guy I bought the motor from, Mr. Justin, said that he had not drained the oil, so we probably got a full oil pan, which I'm good with. What do you think we're gonna get in here? You think it's just gonna be oil? Or do you think we're gonna have some little surprises in there? Oh. Okay, that's bad. That's not supposed to come out of there. That's just water. Now, I did have a feeling it was gonna have some water in there because the throttle body was not covered. All the exhaust ports are open, and he said that he washed it down. You can see here, we even got the breather ports open on the valve cover. So he said he pressure washed it, and then it sat outside during Hurricane Milton. So I kind of had a feeling there was going to be some water in there. That's why I didn't want to just throw oil in it and fire it up. Here comes the oil. Well, it doesn't seem too bad. There we go. I mean, this looks like fresh rust. It's not what you want to see, let's say that. Oh, that side looks better. It actually looks really good, aside from the surface rust that I found, which it's not super concerning, but you know, let's keep digging. Like, let's just say I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of water. Yep, there's some. Ooh, look at that carbon buildup. Holy cow, dude. Turn this motor over. Let's see if we get any water coming out of the cylinders. Told ya. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna have some in here too. But again, it's not looking real rusty. I don't think I could see jack diddly squat in there, to be honest with you. I might have to get a bore scope or something. This doesn't really work. I'm gonna spray some Blvd down here. We're gonna be rotating this over a couple of times. I'm gonna keep my eyes on the valve train here to make sure everything's working like it's supposed to. Yeah, just had a little bit of water in one cylinder. Looks like all the push rods are pushing and rocker arms are rocking. Now that is a clean bottom end. Dude, I might have hit the jackpot on this motor. The bottom end looks really good, but let me show you some goodies I found. So the first thing I noticed when I pulled off the oil pan is it looks clean. Like, we do have some sludge down here. Well, I started kind of just looking around and was like, oh dang, there's a double roller timing chain in there. So that said, all right, somebody's been in here. And I started looking at these pistons and then, oh, what? That's definitely not factory. Now, I don't know who manufactured these pistons. Let me get some light in here for y'all. Kind of looks like Wu-Tang Clan. But dude, that is so awesome, because that means that this motor seems like it's been gone through relatively recently, and I hope the fella that put it together knew what he was doing, but that makes me feel pretty good. Feel a little tingly inside, getting kind of excited. One thing I also noticed too was it looks like we had the factory camshaft in there. Doesn't look like we have any excessive wear on it. There is some minor pitting from probably sitting and it just being, you know, so old. But other than that, I mean, cross hatching looks really good. There's no really like, oh, we got to be mindful of our harmonic balancer. We're losing our rubber here. Everything feels really tight and nice and crisp, which is exactly what you want. There's not any rust in here. There's not anything that's very concerning. But I want to start pulling some of these main caps and take a peek at these bearings. Oh yeah, and if you know who makes those pistons, comment below. I'd really like to know the manufacturer of those. They might be like some good deals, you know? We got some trash in here. With those pistons, man, I thought that we were gonna have a nice shiny surface here, but we got some definite hot spots and we're wearing through the bearing material. Yeah, not what I wanted to see. You could see the ridges in there. And, you know, you're not supposed to see this copper. I'm wondering if I should just clean it out real good and run it, or just go ahead and replace the bearings. Pulled this last cap. It looks better. You haven't worn through the bearing material, but you still got some deep gouges. And then I just pulled this off. Let's see what it looks like. There we go. Oh, it's not bad. You still got gouges and stuff. It's not terrible. It's not great. Well, I decided to order some new main bearings for the motor because those are just in terrible condition. So I got a set coming from Rock Auto. It'll be here later today, so I figured we got a couple minutes to kill, so let's do some bell call. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who has sent me, I'm assuming, license plates. This pile over here is actually the plates that came from C10 Fall Revival. Now this one's from Tony and Robbie Campbell, and they actually came up to me and wrote their address down on this page, which you won't get to see, and got me a nice little South Carolina tag there. So this is gonna be a nice addition to the wall of plates. I don't know where it's going yet, but it's going somewhere. I also had some fellas walk up and give me this. It's a North Carolina dealer plate. That's pretty freaking cool. Got a couple other plates from South Carolina. And again, guys and gals, I apologize if I'm not calling your name out. What I'm gonna end up doing is probably writing down like the names on the back of the plates just so I remember who gave them to me. So this one's from John Harvey, who's a Maine transplant to North Carolina, which is pretty rad. I've never been to Maine, but I do wanna go one day. Another nice North Carolina plate for the wall. If you guys know a guy named Mike, he runs C10 Club New York. He had a black square body stolen from him a couple years ago, ended up recovering it and is actually driving it around. He had it at the show. His license plate said unstolen, which was pretty rad. So he got me a New York plate. He got me a C10 Club New York plate, which is awesome. And then of course, you know, we got the C10 Fall Revival plate for the wall, because why not, you know? All right, this one's from ST Photography out of Ohio. This looks a little worn, which I do like. It's some patina. Thank you, Sean. I definitely appreciate it, man. I'm gonna proudly hang this plate on the wall. Let me see if I can find that sticker in here. ST Photography, check them out on the old Facebook. Tim and Sharon Jean out of Alaska. Check that out. I Sam in Alaska. Little postcard for Denali National Park. Oh, and he's a veteran. Oh, we got some more postcards from Alaska. I have actually been to Alaska during the salmon run, and it was a really cool experience. Didn't catch any fish because I'm not a fisherman, but we had a lot of fun. Check this one out. Pig Fly Veteran. And then we got another Alaska plate. I think this is like their traditional plate over there. Make the wall. These are awesome. Thank you for your service. Tim or Sharon, I'm not sure which one served, but again, that's awesome right there. Love it. Thank you, guys. This one's from Wayne out of Ohio. 67 stepper. Sweet deal, man. I love the custom plates. Those are sweet. Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate it. The 67 stepper plate will gladly go on the wall. Still got to think of a name for it, though. This one's from Corey out of Temecula, California. Oh, that's rad. Dude, I love California plates. They look so rad. Check this out. Posh C10. That is freaking cool, man. This thing is like looking fresh too. Thank you, Corey, I appreciate it. And of course, this will gladly go on the plate wall. I need to figure out a name for that thing, right? This one's from Larry out of North Carolina. Oh, dude, this is rad. It's a 1974 North Carolina plate. Check out his Instagram, 70 Ford XLT. Nice. I do plan on doing some fours on this channel in the near future, trying to clear up all this open-ended stuff I have going on. Larry, definitely appreciate the license plate, man. Gladly hang her on the wall. This one's from Lonzo out of Thorntown, Indiana. Just outside of Lebanon, Indiana. No big deal. That's actually, I probably need to get one of these plates for my trucks, because every time I break down, it's like, whatever, we'll figure it out, right? Lonzo, thanks for the plate, man. I'm gladly gonna hang this sucker on the wall. All right, folks, we got two more. Hang in there with me. Love the letters on the back of the plates. What do we got? Hey, a New York plate. Is it a yeah, it's a historical. So that's interesting that New York's historical plates look like their regular plates, isn't it? This is like their regular plate. Thank you for sharing this, John. I definitely appreciate it, man. Yeah, John out of Belmore, New York. It's rad, dude. Thank you. So this plate is the last plate of the day. I actually just got it in today, so I'm glad I'm shooting this now. So everybody here on the table is gonna get a keychain. More on that in just a second. Let's see what old Jimmy sent me. Kentucky plate, Friends of Cole. Cole keeps the lights on. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. We were just in Kentucky earlier this year, and when I'm anywhere I'm at, I'm always looking at the license plates to see like what their vanity plates look like, or plates like this look like. This is cool, man. Jimmy, thank you. So like I was saying, all of these individuals that have sent me plates up to today are gonna get that Yeah Buddy keychain. I actually have one in my pocket. One of these bad boys, Yeah Buddy Garage. And it is a ABS style. It's an ABS keychain, and this is like laser etched. I've actually had this in my pocket for about a week or so, and it's held up pretty good. So I reached out to April May Shine and put in an order for some keychains and license plates, and those will be here in the next week or so. So once I get those keychains, I will send them out to you guys with a couple of stickers, and I'll put them up for sale on the website as soon as I can. So again, thank you guys and gals for these. I can't wait to put these up on the wall. Let's see if our main bearings have come in for this old 454 right behind me. Since we got the main caps off, I'm gonna go ahead and do a rear main seal. Looks like it started leaking. Super cheap, just a quick job there. Went ahead and got some new valve cover gaskets as well, because those were, well, a little dry rotted and trashed. And then we got a new one-piece oil pan seal that we're gonna put on once we get the whole bottom then back it up, buttoned up. And then I got these plastic gauges from Molly. These are actually available at the O'Reilly's in town. And this is gonna help us make sure that the main bearings I got are the right size. Now, if you really wanna measure for your crank bearings, you gotta pull the crank out, you gotta put the caps on, you do a bore gauge, and you figure out what the spacing is, and then you measure the crank and all, but I can't do that because I'm not taking this whole motor apart. If I was, there'd be too much time in it, and I'm just trying to get this done quick, because keep in mind, once we get back, I'm still gonna freaking diesel swap this truck, so this motor is gonna be temporary. So I just got some stock main bearings for it, hoping that they're gonna be the right size. Like I said, the crank is a little chewed up. It doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look great. So if it gets us home, I'll be happy. But we're gonna go ahead and throw on these new gaskets up here for the valve covers. I like this better because these heads have studs in them that stick out, and the nuts that thread onto the studs, so it'll hold the gasket in place exactly where it's supposed to be. Unlike the setup that's on the other motor, they're just normal, typical bolts, which is fine, but it's a lot harder to get your gasket exactly where it needs to be. You should be really careful too about not letting any kind of stuff fall down into the cylinder head. I'm gonna take this assembly lube and just try to get it up in there. Sweet. Got our valve covers all cleaned up and straightened out. There we go. Torque these suckers down. It's like, I don't know, 6 to 9 foot-pounds. All right, then, we're gonna blow out the bottom one more time. Trying to get all the debris out the bottom. Whoa. Just a little bit. See how they left this edge up just a little bit. Grab that. We're out. See the way this is positioned? This is exactly how we want the new seal to go in. And while I'm in here, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this bearing out. There it goes. See, that doesn't look so bad. I mean, it's not great, it's definitely worn, but look at the bottom. See the bottom compared to the top? I mean, that is smoked, dude. Bearings just came in. Very nervous right now because I'm not sure they're gonna fit. Now I do know we can have a little more clearance on the back, but the 1, 2, 3, and 4 main cap really need to be at 2 to 3 thousandths, or in the ballpark. All right, so then let's go ahead and pull these. I already pulled this one. See, it's crazy. I don't know if you could see that, but this is the top, this is the bottom. Maybe the crank's warped. Maybe these aren't the right size. If you look on the back side, you'll see like what size they are. 2000s, and I got standard, so we'll see how this all works out. All right, so with these, you're gonna have a top and a bottom. So this is gonna be your top one. You see that hole right there? That's gonna be where the oil comes through and actually lubes the crankshaft. This one is gonna be your bottom. And you see here, there's no groove, there's nothing for the oil, but there is a detent right here. So there's actually a mark in the block where you're gonna set this down. Actually, this is the main cap, but this one has the same thing. There's a detent right there. So we take that detent and we set it down where it's supposed to be. In this case, we're gonna walk it around the crank gently, and then we're gonna put all of our caps back on, torque them down to 110 foot-pounds. Now you wanna be careful with these. You don't wanna be really rough with them. And you wanna make sure that before you install them, everything is nice and clean. So this is a plasti gauge set. This one's from Molly, and I just got this from like O'Reilly's Auto Parts. But if you see in here, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, there's a little tiny, there we go. So you see that right there? That little tiny piece of clay? Well, we're gonna actually set this on top of the crankshaft when we put our cap on, and we're gonna torque all the caps down, and then it's gonna have us measure how wide it is. And we're hoping that it's gonna be between 2 and 3 thousandths. Fingers crossed, I don't know if it's gonna be, but if you look closely right here, all these measurements are the same, they just break them up into different deals. But if you look right there, I don't know if we can, there we go. We're gonna have inches on this side, and then they gave you millimeters on that side. Let's walk this one around. Oh, that was easy. Like butter. Beautiful. Awesome. Now this one's gonna be a little tight too. That one, again, you're just opening this up. See, we got our plastic gauge right on the crank there. Grab our bearing, make sure we line it up with the notch. And we do that for all of these. "110 foot-pounds." I'm gonna torque all of them down too. Okay. I'm gonna break all these loose now. This is a workout. God, hey. Woo, pretty nervous. Let's start with this one. Did I just waste my time? Let's find out. Yep. I sure did. Oh, well, that one did not go very well. Okay. Okay. It's tight. That is freaking rad. I'll bring you guys in here in a second. I might have had something hold me up. It kind of felt like it was getting caught up on the edge of the block here. Yes, sir, bro. Yeah, buddy. Frick yeah. It's there, bro. Yes. Okay, so this kind of lined up like I thought it would. We'd have a little more clearance on the back. I'm gonna try to retorque this front one and see if I had something hanging me up here. All right, what do you think? You think we did it? I don't think so. Nope. If I throw this bearing, the original bearing in, and we don't get a mark on the plasti gauge, I'm gonna put these in. Yep, that one smashed it. All right, so here are our final results. These are our caps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll start at the back. So you see our plasti gauge is slightly smushed, okay? I'm not gonna be able to do this with one hand, but I'll show you on another one. So you see those marks right there? So that's gonna be, it's gonna be greater than 3 thousandths, which means this should be okay, because what I've read says that you can run a looser tolerance for this bearing. So if we look at this one, this is right at 3 thousandths, which is great. You know, we come over here, if you look again, right at 3 thousandths, perfect. This one, well, it's actually a little bigger. It's probably around 2 thousandths, maybe a little more, or actually less, if you could see that. So that's even better, okay? But this one, okay, it's gonna be hard to see. This one's probably right at the 3 thousandths, maybe a touch smaller, but I wasn't even touching the bearing surface at all on the new one. So I think what I'm gonna do is run the older one. We still have a lot of bearing material on here. It is gouged and it's not great, but both of them, the top and bottom, didn't look too bad. And you can see here on the crank, it leaves a mark on the crank as well. Anyway, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna put all these caps back on, torque them down for the final time, but not before I clean off the plasti gauge and lube everything up with the assembly lube, because you do not want this to fire with no lubrication. Got everything lubed up and ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and install this rear main seal. And I'll just put a little bit of assembly lube in that joint right there to help it slide around. It comes with this little tool. You can use it to help prevent the seal from getting damaged. So you don't want it to be like perfectly aligned with the block, right? So you want it to be down or up a little bit on one side. So we're gonna push it down a little on this side. I'm actually gonna put a little bit of RTV on the ends, just a little bit, you know? Throw my oil pump back on. I had to take off the cover here and remove the internal gears because there was a bunch of junk stuck in this screen right here. It was like cork material and like a chunk of metal. So at one point it seems like something broke in here and sent metal through the motor, which would make sense with all the marring on the bearings. But I got all this out of here. I just had a air hose and blew in here and got all that out. And then I'm gonna reassemble the pump. We should be good with that. Put a little assembly lube on her. Noise. Click, click. Click, click. Now we got our main caps on, oil pumps on, we got our rear main seal done. I got this really nice one-piece gasket from Felpro. This will help evenly disperse the torque load. Just start in the middle and work our way out. All right, we are making some good progress. So I noticed our harmonic balancer is not good. See this sticking out right here? We're gonna pull this sucker off and then flip this thing back over, load her up in the van, and I think I've pretty much done all I can do here. Here we go. Yep. 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 Oh, did you hear that? My chest popped. Okay. Oh, we're in the home stretch. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that. Yeah, buddy. Okay. Well, we got a big block and a little van again. See, we opted to put it in the middle of the van for handling purposes. We got 475 miles to drive before we even get to see the dually. So Steve at Piedmont Tractions got us hooked up. We got a place to stay. We got a place to work on the truck, and I am like so excited to go after this challenge. But it's time to start Operation Save the Dually. Me and my dad are 17 minutes outside of Mooresville. Haven't recorded anything because it's a boring trip. We got the van, we got the motor in the back. Hey, you want to start it? That's the alternator. This will be the 6th alternator this van's gotten. So excited. Yeah, the pulley's sparking. All right, I'm gonna try to start it and go because our alternator pulley is starting to spark.
Okay. So
I got it right here. Lubed her up with some penetrating oil.
In about 2 miles, take exit 52 onto Poplar 10.
It's been a year for road trips, man. You can't.
people like, what are these people doing? They come up to the intersection and turn it off.
Just. All right.
Come on.
We're gonna wait it out.
Come on.
You learn a couple of tricks whenever you break down enough times. The bad thing too is this takes forever to switch into gear. Yeah, let's go.
Green light.
You said there's an auto zone over here?
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's right up through the intersection. Park it under the tree. Shade tree mechanics do the work. All right, so we'll pop the hood, we'll open it up and let it start cooling.
Yeah, it's gonna be toasty. Yeah. All right, we went to the auto zone, and that's where this came from. They don't have it. They gotta order it, and it'll be here tomorrow, which ain't gonna work. So we called an Advanced Auto Parts, and they happen to have a remanufactured one in stock. So we're gonna go. Which way do I go?
This way. Right, and then right.
Right.
Yeah. There we go. Perfect. We made it.
All right.
We made it to the second part.
Let's hop on in here. We just popped the belt off, and yeah. You hear it?
Brady.
You could see it wobble.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. It might be loose. I think the nut's loose.
Yeah, look, see how it's been wearing right there.
Yeah.
But even if you push it back in there.
Yeah, but you could pull it back and forth. See? See that?
Yeah.
I think maybe it's not the bearing. Maybe. How would that come out though?
It's still. Oh wow.
You see what I'm saying? It's like getting looser. I ended up buying a whole freaking set of these Allen head sockets. But we're gonna tighten this sucker up and see if that fixes it. Dad's a cameraman today.
Yep, slinging the camera.
We're gonna be able to get in here. It's not moving. The only thing I could think is the shaft walked out. All right. Yeah. Well, at least we got a nice Allen head socket set out of it. Look at that.
Looks like a brand new alternator.
It sure does. Now the hard part. Yeah. AC's broken anyway. Okay. Dude, I'm telling you, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any, man. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, so this is we're just pre-gaming for the engines.
Yeah.
Let's get us warmed up.
Yes. Put this on. Is the key in there still? All right, fire up. To Steve's house. How do our bolts look? They're good.
Yep.
Sweet. Let's go. There's the old dually.
Yep. He's already got it up.
Oh yeah, got it set up over here.
He does. It's like, wow.
Oh, on jack stands too?
Man.
Yeah, gum.
Got you a little stand to stand on.
Well, we freaking made it. Here's the old dually. Yeah, it's here. Mr. Steve already got started taking some stuff apart. We got fan shroud. He's got all of our accessories right here. Boom, ready to go, man. Still got a lot of work to do, but that makes it a lot easier. Much appreciated. Especially after the freaking day we had with the van. Everything was smooth until 17 minutes away, and then it just like the shaft for the alternator just started coming out of the housing.
Oh wow!
I think I've had every like failure you could have on an alternator this year, especially with that van. That's the 6th alternator in that van. Wow. Look at that! Look at all the dirt daubers in this right there too. Yeah, I can see the flywheel. Okay. Oh, dang it. Hey, Steve, sorry, man. You're going to pump her for a little while. You've been working pretty hard. We're good. I just checked my phone. I was going to say, where you at, man?
We're done.
Heading back now. Yeah,
we got this bitch running. We're about to head to the house.
Yeah.
We need a motor.
Yeah.
It is 12:17.
12:17. 500 miles from home. Halfway through an engine swap. Oh my gosh, dude. I just recorded this whole little segment and I realized I wasn't recording because it's 1:30 in the morning and we've had a heck of a day. Anyway, like I was saying, that you didn't know I was saying, cleaning up with the TKO wipes from Sweet Patina. These things are awesome, man. Not only do they clean your hands, but I got a grease stain on the back of the seat in the van when I put that 454 in there. I used one of these to clean it right out. Lauren got some coffee on her pants when we went to C10 Fall Revival. She used one of these, cleaned it right out. There's so many uses for these TKO wipes, it's not even funny. We are exhausted and we are gonna get up in the morning, come back out here and get this thing fired up and back on the road. I would say I'd see you bright and early, but I might sleep in a little bit tonight, I don't know. Good morning. It is about 9 a.m. and we just got up like 30 minutes ago. It was a late one. We went to bed about 2 and man, I was dreaming all night that everything was going smooth and like we got all the accessories on and ready to fire it up, and I was like, oh, we'll fire it up this morning and go, and I woke up and the reality was, no, we still got to put the bolts in the motor mounts, bell housing bolts in, torque converter bolts in, and then we can start bolting on all of our accessories, wire it up, plumb it up. Yeah, let's get to work. Yeah, it's nice out. What's up, Bristol? Got a shot dog, keeping watch. Get to the point of putting some fluids in this thing. Haven't been doing much videoing because this is like whooping our butts. So let's get this thing filled up with some fluids and then see if we can't get this thing to fire up. We've literally been busting our butts for 1.5 days. Again, I apologize for not recording much of this. I just really just want to get this done. I'm sure you've all been there before, but we got oil in the motor, coolant in the cooling system. Everything else seems to have the fluids that it needs. Just hooked the battery up, turned the key on. We didn't set a fire or anything. Let's see if we can get this thing to turn over. That sounds really smooth. Dang, that sounds really smooth, but I don't want to say anything. Watching our oil pressure. Nothing. Do we have spark? Oh, you know what? We don't, because I never hooked it up. Helps if you hook up the distributor. I don't think we have spark. You ready? You want to check that plug? That was it. All right, let's put her back in. It's trying to, yeah. We might have. A couple of them popped off. Here, let me see that. So we got. All right, let's do her again. All right, you ready? She wants to. Need some more gas? pressure. £30 of oil pressure. On that side? That, yeah. It's those bolts. I don't know what oil pressure will do that. 30. Yeah. I'm good with that. Let's see if, yeah, right? She was starting to come up to temp too, so temp gauge works. Yeah, man. Other than that nasty exhaust leak.
Yeah, you might see if you can tackle that in the morning.
Yeah, that yeah, I think our goal today was to get it running.
Yeah, sweet.
So now we just got to do belts, exhaust leak.
I bet
Put the wheel on it, put the air cleaner on it.
Yeah.
Deal with the little stuff.
I bet we are going to have to see about getting the short belt one that just go around, because if you go around down
It does.
the bottom,
It would hit.
It's going to hit the smog pump, unless we just take the smog pump off.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be easy enough to just take it off. It's not really
Yeah, it's not really
doing anything.
No.
Well, I came over to get the cooler out of the well house so I can start putting the beer on ice.
Yes, sir.
yes.
Well, we're gonna get cleaned up and head on over.
Okay, so I got some, night before last I made some pork ribs.
Oh.
And I have some extras. If you want me to warm them up for you guys, you're more than welcome to them.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I'm always down to eat some ribs, man.
I got some chips and salsa stuff too. So
Okay.
Man, much appreciated.
So what time do you want us to head over that way?
Whenever it's convenient for you. I was
Okay.
going to get the fire going in just a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll probably still go ahead and go take a shower, then we'll
Yeah.
get set by fire. Put on these grease
Probably
off.
feels pretty darn good.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, dude, that's rad.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a runner. Huge thanks to my dad and to Mr. Steve for making this happen. We're only halfway through the journey, but I mean, that is like, today was a very rough day. Me and my dad are both exhausted and wore out, and to hear this thing run and to see it's got good oil pressure. We do have a pretty nasty exhaust leak, but it started to come up to temperature too, so my oil pressure gauge is working, my coolant temperature gauge is working, and everything just kind of seems to be functioning like it should. No major leaks. And tomorrow, I think we're gonna put this thing on the road and drive it 500 miles home after wrapping up an engine swap the day before. Oh, gosh. Good morning. Today, technically day 2 of working on this thing. It's 2.5, let's call it 2.5. Stayed up with Mr. Steve last night, met one of his buddies, Matt. Super cool guys. We actually hung out at a little bonfire last night and talked about cars and trucks and racing. And I love it when you meet cool people out on the road and, you know, they let you motor swap your junky dually in their yard. So that's super rad. Anyway, we got her fired up last night, as you just saw, and we were checking through some stuff. Like I said, oil pressure is good. Coolant temp's good. We need to get an oil cap. We got to get a new belt for our alternator because our smog pump got a little jacked up. The pulley went on crooked, and then I tried to tap it on with a hammer, and I think I goofed up the bearings. So, you know, whatever. It's what it is. So Dad's gonna run to the parts store, grab a new belt, and I'm gonna hop under this thing and try to fix this nasty exhaust leak. And then I think we're just gonna freaking wash up and jam it on the road. I mean, what else do we gotta do, you know? Oh, I also gotta show you guys this. This fella's tried to play a little trick on me. They almost got me with it. I was up on the motor, and then when I was trying to get the bell housing bolts off, I was like, oh, God. Oh, it's fake. Thank God it didn't like jump out of the motor or something and freaking bust my butt. All right, we're gonna get to work, knock this stuff out, and then catch up with you guys in a little bit. Well, I got an AC and power steering pump belts on. Still waiting on my dad to come back to get the alternator belt on. Got under there and started to beat the snot out of that connection for the manifold. And let's see if we fixed it. That sounds a lot better. Yeah, dude. Heck yeah. Sounds nice and really smooth. Not a lot of noise coming from the valve train. No knocking, which is kind of what you want. Heck yeah. I'm gonna start cleaning up. I gotta put the old motor back in the bed, and then we made a mess of Steve's porch here, so I gotta get this cleaned up. Yeah. All right, so new development. We're losing oil pressure. We had good oil pressure last night, and this morning, you know, it won't go over 25 PSI. So we're gonna run to the parts store real quick, new oil filter, get some 50 weight, throw it in there, see what we got. Just got back from the parts store. The plan is put a thicker weight oil in it. This is our last ditch effort to get that oil pressure back up. I'm not feeling super excited about this. All right, let's see, here we go. Holy crap, we got 30 PSI. It went right to 30. Yeah, so literally it was at like 5. Last night it was at 20, 15 at idle. Now it's sitting at 30. I think we're gonna send it. Still noisy.
This will give us time to do that run. We can go ahead and load it.
Yeah, we gotta load up that motor. We gotta, you know, clean up the rest of our stuff here. So we're gonna do that now. Got a whirlwind of emotions this weekend. I want you guys to listen to this motor. Hear that? I think we got a rod knock. Our oil pressure dropped. Yep.
That's what I say when it comes up to temperature.
We're getting there on the coolant temp. I mean, that is at idle, so. All right, well, we're gonna take her for a rip and tell you guys what our next step is. Oh, suspension. Rod knock. Yep. I know it's kind of hard to say that this truck's quick, but it's definitely not quicker than what it was with the other motor. Yeah, there was a lot more power off the line.
That's hard to listen to.
Yep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my dad and I tried our best to get this thing back on the road, and we succeeded to some extent, but didn't fully disassemble the motor. I only looked at a couple of those connecting rods and should have replaced them. So I don't know what I'm doing next with this truck. It's 500 miles from home. We got to go back today. We've been fooling on this thing for way too long, and we're going to be home super, super late. I'm just pretty defeated today. Pretty tired and like super disappointed in myself for not coming home with this freaking truck. So I don't know, man. Y'all will just have to stay tuned. The saga continues with the square body dualies. Well, dude, I appreciate it. Sorry for the loss.
We tried.
And the 3 days of that we can't get back. Take this thing around the yard. Be the last drive for a long time. And this is where she'll stay. Well, guys and gals, that is gonna do it for us today at Piedmont Traction. I can't say thank you enough times to Steve and Melody for letting me and my dad come in here, freaking do this motor swap, borrow their tools. They fed us. We had some hangouts. We had a great time this weekend. And I love when you come on some hard times doing this travel and stuff, and you just happen to meet some like really awesome, super cool people. So every year they have a huge GM truck show right over there in that big old field, and it's every Father's Day weekend. So you better believe I'm going to be coming here for 2025. That'll usually be on the last leg of the power tour. So once we finish the power tour, we'll just swing right on through here and hang out at the show. So it's a Friday, Saturday show, and of course Sunday would be that Father's Day. But put it on your calendars if y'all want to come hang out with me and Steve. And I'm telling you, this dude is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to trucks and building motors and racing. He's just super, super cool guy. And everybody that I've met in this area has just been super awesome too. So can't say enough good things about this area and about the people. Oh, check out Bristol. This was the shop pup for the weekend. Hey, sweetie. Yeah, she's a good doggy. She kept us company since Bowtime Meatloaf couldn't be here. All right, we'll see you soon. We're gonna hit the road, start our 7 hour 500 mile drive back to the house. You ready, man?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy, we're ready to get home. Don't hit Bristol on the way out. She's right in front of us.